In the last session, we have seen multi-quadrant operation with fully controlled converter by using the reversing switch. In today's session, we'll see the dual converter fed DC drive. This is another type of multi-quadrant operation. Again, by using dual converter, we can get the multi-quadrant operation in two ways. That is, by using the circulating current type dual converter. Another one is non-circulating current type dual converter. The first one, we'll see with the first one, the circulating current type dual converter or simultaneous control of dual converter. Circulating current type or simultaneous type. Okay, this coming to the circuit diagram. Here I have taken three phase, but it is equally operate well and good for single phase also. Only based on the power levels, either we can go for the single phase or three phase. So dual converter, one rectifier is connected at here, one converter. The converter A, it is called converter A, and the corresponding firing pulse is alpha A. The corresponding output voltage is VA. Another type of converter B is connected back to back here. The corresponding output voltage is VB and the corresponding firing pulse is alpha B. The current is always coming out from the common cathode of the rectifiers. So that's why from this converter the current will come out like this, and from converter B the current will come out from the common cathode only. Both the converters are connected to the three phase supply, the common supply, and both the converters are connected through the reactors or inductance, that is L1 L2 inductors, and the armature or motor is connected between the inductors. Generally these reactors or inductors are connected to avoid the circulating currents. So here the corresponding voltage of the motor is VA, corresponding current is IA. So now the single phase is up to 10 kilowatts, and beyond 10 kilowatt we need to go for the three phase. So now converter A and converter B need to operate simultaneously to get the multi-quadrant operation. Anyway, we have seen single quadrant operation. With single fully controlled converter, we can get the two quadrant operation because your current is always positive, but voltage can be positive or negative. That's what we have seen. So by using two converters together and simultaneously operating those two converters, we can get the four quadrant operation. So to get that, first initially we need to operate the converter A. Let us take converter A. Converter A, when the motoring current, converter A current is always coming out from the common cathode, and it will enter into the motor terminals with, let us take, this is A and this is AA. It will enter into the A terminal. So it is as per the conventional notation. That's why IA is positive when this converter A is working like a rectifier, and voltage also positive. So now the motor current is positive when converter A is operating, and voltage can be positive or negative. With that we can get the first and fourth quadrant operation, because again here your IA and your VA, this is minus VA and this is minus IA. So both VA IA positive. With IA positive, your VA can be positive or negative. That's what we can get here. That means it will give the first and fourth quadrant. By operating converter B, the current is coming out from the common cathode, means it will enter opposite to the assumed direction. That's why your IA will be negative. Your IA is negative, but voltage can be either positive or negative by adjusting the firing angle alpha B between 0 to 180 degrees. So with that, IA is negative, voltage can be positive or negative. With that we can get again another two quadrants, that is second and third quadrant. Okay, in this way we can get the multi-quadrant operations. So here this circulating current, generally these voltages, we need to keep these voltages as same. If there is any voltage difference between the outputs of the converter, there is a chances of flowing of circulating currents through the dual converter like this. To limit the circulating current, we are keeping this L1 and L2. So we are limiting the circulating currents by keeping the two equal inductors between the dual converters. Okay, generally this voltage, to avoid the circulating current, we need to keep the output voltage of the rectifier should be equal to the output voltage of the inverter or input voltage of the inverter. The input voltage of the inverter is opposite to the output voltage of the rectifier. That's why VA should be equal, because here VA is nothing but plus minus and common cathode is plus here. That's why this is plus minus. VA equal to minus VB, or the average voltage across the inductors is equal to 0 when we apply the KVL across this loop. Minus plus minus plus, VA plus VB equal to 0, because average voltage across the inductors is 0. With that, VA equal to minus VB, or by applying KVL, VA plus VB equal to 0. By substituting the corresponding voltage equations of the three-phase fully controlled converter, 3VML by pi into cos alpha A, because the corresponding converter firing angle is alpha A, and 3VML by pi into cos alpha B equal to 0. That gives the cos alpha A equal to minus cos alpha B, and cos alpha A is equal to, this can be rewritten as cos of 180 degrees minus alpha B, so that here alpha A is equal 180 degrees minus alpha B, which will give alpha A plus alpha B is equal 180 degrees. To prevent the DC circulating current, to get the equal voltages at the output of the converter and input of the inverter, we need to keep the firing pulses like this. If you are keeping the firing angle of the converter A at 60 degrees, the converter B firing angle should be 180 minus 60, that will give 120. Then only the circulating currents can be avoided, because if any one of the converter output voltage is more, then there is a chances of circulating current. Okay, in this way we can avoid the circulating current. So here again, to get the forward motoring and forward braking operation, your E should be more, your back EMF should be more, and speed should be more, then only you can get the forward motoring and forward braking operation. To get this, E is greater than 0 and omega is greater than 0, your converter A should act like a rectifier. To act like a rectifier, we need to keep the firing angle between 0 to 90 degrees, and converter B should act like a inverter. To act like an inverter, we need to keep the firing angle between 90 to 180 degrees. Because if you see here, when converter A is operating like a rectifier, by keeping this firing angle between 0 to 90 degrees, it will work like a rectifier. By keeping this converter B firing angle between 90 to 180 degrees, it will work like a inverter. When it is rectifier, the current will flow like this. You will get the positive current and your back EMF also in the azimuth direction, so that you are getting the positive back EMF with the positive speed. That's why you are getting the forward motoring and forward braking operation with this, because your omega M is always positive. And to get the reverse motoring and reverse braking operation, you need to get the E should be less than 0, that is nothing but negative E and negative speed, you need to get it. To get that, your converter A need to work like a inverter, and converter B need to work like a rectifier. We have to operate this converter B as a rectifier, means now we need to provide the firing angle alpha B between 0 to 90 degrees and alpha A between 90 to 180 degrees. So that's what I have mentioned here. Converter A need to work like a inverter, and converter B need to work like a rectifier. That's why the firing pulses are interchanged. Earlier, converter A 0 to 90 degrees. Now converter A 90 to 180 degrees to work like a inverter, from rectifier to inverter, and from inverter to a rectifier. So that's what in this diagram also. When converter A work like a rectifier and converter B like a inverter, we'll get the first and second quadrant operation. When converter B work like a rectifier and converter A work like a inverter, then we'll get the third and fourth quadrant. That is nothing but forward motoring and forward braking by keeping the firing angles between 0 to alpha is less than 90 degrees, so that your converter A work like a rectifier and converter B means alpha is less than 180 degrees. Now we need to bring the converter B into the rectifier operation, means we need to change the firing pulses between 0 to 90 degrees, and to act the converter A into the inverter operation means 90 to 180 degrees. So in this way we can get the multi-quadrant operation. So that is with the circulating current type of dual converter. And if you see the non-circulating current or non-simultaneous type of dual converter, that means we need to operate the each converter at a time. So with that, by operating the single converter at a time, obviously we can get the two quadrant operation. We can connect the converters like dual converter type only, but we need to operate the individual converters at a time. Let us take only one converter is operated at a time. The connections are similar to the dual converter only. So here I have not taken the lines, but it is connected to the same supply ABC and ABC only. There is no circulating current because one converter is operating at a time, that's why there is no circulating current. So to get the IA positive, IA should be coming into the A and into the A. To get that one, we need to operate the converter A as a rectifier. Then only the common cathode current. Common cathode is this one. So this will come out and it will enter into the A. For IA is greater than 0, converter A need to work like a rectifier. So converter A need to work like a rectifier. The corresponding firing pulses need to be triggered so that IA can be work like a fully controlled converter with positive current, where we can get both positive and negative voltage. That's why it is first and fourth quadrant. Again here also in a similar way, your IA is positive. When you are providing the firing pulses alpha A 0 is less than or equal to alpha A is less than or equal to 90 degrees, it will provide the positive voltage, this converter A. And to get the negative voltage, that is first quadrant, right? And we can get the other quadrant, fourth quadrant also. With positive current only, by changing the firing angle between 90 to 180 degrees, we can get the other quadrant operation. Next, to get the negative current, you turn off this converter A completely and provide some dead time to avoid the mole operation of the converters. To provide some dead time, around 10 milliseconds of dead time. Now that after giving some sufficient time, dead time, now you provide the firing pulses to the converter B. By operating this converter B as a rectifier, your current will come out from the common cathode and it will enter opposite to the assumed IA current direction. That's why your IA will be negative. IA is less than 0 means IA is negative when you are turning off the converter A and turning on the converter B and operating this converter B as a rectifier, your current will be opposite to the assumed direction. That's why it is negative. So that will give again the other two quadrants, third and fourth quadrant, because by operating this negative armature current, again can get both positive and negative voltages by changing the firing angle from 0 to 180 degrees, like the first and fourth quadrant. Here this dead time is maintained between the turning off of converter A and converter B. Sufficient dead time should be maintained or from converter B to converter A also, then only the mall operation can be avoided. Okay, this is all about the dual converter type multi quadrant operation for separately excited DC motors. Thank you all.